It was a good win for our team. I think we challenged our players to go out and see if we could be a dominant team in every facet of the game, and we challenged our players individually to see if they could dominate their box. And I think there were times in the game where I thought we did that. I thought we started out big play to start the game on offense, pretty good drive. The second time we had the ball, I think there were times when we got a little sloppy. I think we got really sloppy at the end of the game when we played a lot of twos, and I was not pleased with the way they executed. That our expectation for those guys is that they play the same standard that everybody else does. They practice, they know what to do. They should go out there and execute. And we didn't move the ball on offense. We didn't take the air out of it at all. We didn't take any time off the clock. We didn't make any first downs. And the defense, never stopped them, the last 10 minutes of the game. So, but we got to play a lot of players, so that'll be a good experience for them. This was a good performance for our team, and I think the question everybody should ask themselves, did I play better this week than I played the week before? And that means you prepared right, you had the right focus, you played with the right intensity in the game, and if you can say that, then we're getting better as a team. If you can't say that, then you're just developing bad habits, and it's not only setting you up for a poor performance in this particular game, but you'll develop bad habits, and it'll affect you in future games. So obviously we start SEC play, this next week on the road, so we're going to have to clean some things up, get more guys that can play winning football, and try to be a little more efficient, as a team. So anyway, I was pleased with the way the ones played, but when we put the other guys in, I'm just not satisfied with their disposition about playing well and what they need to do to play winning football.
There was a new combination on the offensive line with Landon at center and Womack at guard. What led to that decision? Do you think there was improvement from last week to this week?
Well, Chris Owens was out of the game, and so was Emil. So Chris Owens is the starting center, and Emil's the backup center. So Dickerson's the third center. So if the first two guys are out, just basic math says the third guy's got to play, right? All right, and then Dalcourt's the next guy, and he played today too. All right, so it was good to get them some experience. So I think I made the statement that I thought we had 7 guys that were starters in the offensive line that we felt good about. Well, we had to play with 5 today, and a freshman center who we put in the game, and I think he did okay. So anyway, that's what led to that. Just simple math, guys getting injured.
Back right with Charlie.
Do you have an update on Trayvon Diggs?
Trayvon Diggs just had cramps. He was cramping up. He's fine. I don't think anybody got injured in the game today. That hopefully we'll get some guys back. Maybe Justin, maybe Emil, maybe Chris Owens. Hopefully we'll get some of these guys back.
Come back in there. Right with James.
I think you guys are perfect on converting red zone drives into touchdown opportunities. That was something that you've talked about improving from last year. What have you seen out of the play calling and the execution there so far?
Well, it's been good. Because we've gotten good results. I thought today there was a couple times when we didn't execute as well. Right before we got into the red area, we had a couple opportunities to make plays, and we didn't make them. We had people open. It was the quarterback's read, and we just missed it. But when we got the ball in the red zone, we've been very efficient, and I think that's going to be very important to us. I think we still got to work on being able to run the ball a little bit more efficiently and effectively. I think it was better today. They did a lot of stunning. They were bringing the star a lot, 5-man pressures to try to stop the run. But still, we got to be able to block those things and be able to run the ball effectively.
What do you think of? What do you get out of a game like this? And do you think this kind of level of competition can get you ready for an SEC game a week later?
Well, look, I've talked about this before. All right, so we try to schedule the best teams that we can schedule, and we're trying to do that in the future as well. But we can only play the people who are willing to play us. I've said my opinion about playing 12 Power 5 schools, that's what I would rather do. So, but a lot of other people don't agree with that. I'd rather play 10 SEC games and then play 2 other Power 5 schools. So all the games are exciting for the fans. All the games are good football. You wouldn't have to go undefeated to get in the playoffs because you'd play a more quality schedule. I've been through and covered that ground 100 times. So do I think we can get better in games like this? I do. If you approach the game right and you practice the right way and you prepare and you have the right focus and you play to your standard, you can get better playing anybody. Would I rather play other teams? No disrespect to New Mexico State. Their coach works hard. Their players played hard. But if it's my philosophy that we should play 12 Power 5 schools, I'd say the answer to that would be yes. But that's a philosophical answer. All right, and that's not the way it is. All right, so I don't know why you would ask me that question, as if I could do something about it, when I can't do anything about it. So we're playing the best teams that we can get to play us. Why don't you start calling around and see if you can get somebody else to play us, and we'll play them. We'll play anybody you can get to play us.
Okay, back over here on the left with Edmund.
Another big game for Jerry Jeudy. Could you just talk about the fast start he's had this season and just what makes him such an elite receiver?
Well, you know, Jerry's a smart player. He plays hard. He's got a good understanding of the offense, and he has a good understanding of what people do to try to stop him on defense. You know, a lot of the plays that he's very effective on is, you know, he caught some RPOs today, some bubble passes and things like that. He's effective catching and running it on short game, but he's really difficult to cover down the field. So he's a pretty complete guy when it comes to being a really good receiver. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to have production from all of our receivers. I think it's important because those guys can all make plays, that we have a lot of production from that group.
Okay, we'll go in the back with Tony. Couple more.
We didn't see Antonio Alfano suited up on the sideline. Is there an update on his status?
He's going through some discipline things with me. So, you know, if he does what he's supposed to do, I'm not going to tell you what, but whether it's academic, which that has something to do with it, and being responsible and accountable to do what he's supposed to do like every other player on the team. So we want to get him right. We want to help him. We want to help him do the right things, but he's got to make those choices and decisions too.
Two more. Start with Michael. You talked on Monday about the vision of the running backs and seeing the holes better. How did you see that today?
I thought it was a little better today. I thought they hit it up in there a little bit better. You know, we've been wanting to bring Keelan Robinson along, and because he's the one guy that has juice, that is, you know, a guy that's a little different style of back than the other two guys that we play, really the other three guys that we play. So hopefully he'll gain some confidence from making a great long run today, and that'll help him, and we can utilize his skill set, you know, in the future.
Okay, we'll finish it up right up front here.
Were you disappointed that the students cleared out early today, or do you give them a pass because of the heat and maybe the score of the game?
You know, look, I've talked about this many, many times before. You know, I think it enhances the value of our program if our stadium is full and people stay for 60 minutes in the game. All right, so from my standpoint, I always want to see the stadium full, and I want to see people stay for 60 minutes in the game. You know, we expect our players to compete for 60 minutes in the game. I'm not satisfied with the way some of our players competed in the fourth quarter, the second team guys and all that. So, I mean, I'd like to see them get supported just like some of the people that, you know, are fun to watch. All right, so I would love for the students to stay there for the whole game. And I know we've tried to enhance, you know, with some of the things that we're doing to try to get them to do that, but that's a choice and decision they got to make. But all these things affect the program, all right, because, you know, people come and we have recruits here and they want to see a full house and all that. So everybody wants to be a part of the team. Everybody wants to be number one. But everybody don't want to do what the beast does. Everybody wants to be the beast, but they don't want to do what the beast do. So everybody's got to make a sacrifice, you know? I mean, you want to be the lion? Everybody got to do something, right? Everybody wants to be number one. If I asked that whole student section, all right, do you want to be number one? Nobody would put their hand up and say, I want to be number 4. They would all say, we want to be number 1. But are they willing to do everything to be number 1? That's another question. You can ask them that. I don't know the answer. I'm trying to coach our team. I'm wondering why we lost contain, when they ran a damn zone play. I could care less about that. I hope that there's something that we could do that would enhance their wanting to stay and have the spirit to stay and all that, but I don't really know much about all that stuff. That's not my cup of tea, trying to figure out how to stop, snag 7 flat.